This meeting is being recorded. Bonjour.
Bonjour. Buongiorno.
How are you?
Nothing like coming to your desk and finding a Swiffer lying on it. Kind of subtle hint.
In?
Get it done. So I'm getting it done. How is oh my god, what a comfortable air mask today, eh?
Oh, yeah.
You outside?
Yeah, I was inside with the dog. It was nice.
Yeah, it's
Yes, the last 2 days have been. The last couple days were yucky and sticky.
oh man, yucky. You're being
Yesterday and today, our neighbors across the street. They're getting some landscape work done, like I think cement patios and stuff poured. So there's all kinds of like dump trucks and I don't know, machinery and stuff that are backing up and so every time there's a loud noise, my dog goes mental. So, anyway.
Yeah, I actually know what that's going. I know what that means because our neighborhood, because it's a new infill subdivision,
Yeah.
it just got assumed early this year by the city.
Yeah.
It means that now that land is, you can do whatever you want with the land. That means that the drainage, everything's fine.
Yeah.
The city has kind of gave the stamp of approval, and everyone jumped at the opportunity to start building like patios and decks and balconies, and then yesterday, as you and I were speaking, that's what my wife called. It's like the fence guys came. So like somebody organized one
Right.
company to do all the fences for all of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And these guys were, oh my god, it's such a pleasure to watch when people know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They put up fences between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, probably 9 lots.
Yeah.
In the span of maybe 2.5 hours.
Wow.
Like sorry, the posts were in the ground,
Yeah.
but they were just doing the fencing.
Yeah.
But then again, because we lived without fences for the last 2 years, it was also very weird to see your lot now enclosed.
Yeah.
Previously, my lot,
I know you're like now it's so tiny.
yeah, well, it's actually fine. The biggest thing is, so our kids, like my neighbors, stood. Oh,
Yeah.
see, this is me like doing yard work.
Yeah.
Left, and then 2 houses. So a house on the left and 2 houses on the right. All kids like always play together.
Yeah.
Like they're just like group, like they roam
Yeah.
around through the yards, and they were like, "What is this? Who
Yeah.
put down the fences? This is not cool."
Yeah.
So most of my neighbors, we're basically, we have path through. So I'm building this weekend. I'm also building a door to my neighbor on the left. So all of the backyards are going to be connected.
Yeah. We had friends around the corner here who did that when their fences went in. They left either openings or just put gates in between the yards.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're planning to do.
Which was good until their neighbor moved, and then somebody moved in who didn't like them or didn't have kids or whatever, and they wanted it closed up. So
yeah, that's fine. I mean, boards, I'll board it up if I need to. But Luke, so the family on the left there, originally from Vietnam.
Yeah.
And they and us, we get along splendidly because we have the Soviet upbringing that the Comrade Lenin is going to lead us to the brighter future. So it's and Luke's got top shelf booze, man. He introduced me to some like amazing stuff.
Wow.
He doesn't have like, oh yeah, it's just Johnny Walker Red Label. No. It's like 18-year-old something that you have to go to Quebec to buy because LCBO doesn't carry it.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So
cool.
Anyway, so that kind of derailed my evening a bit, but I did spend some time on the strategy. How was your day?
It was good. It was good. I created all those characters and stuff for the app, and then I realized the resolution on all the people was terrible when I put them into the app. They were all fuzzy. So anyway, I redid it this morning. I had to basically, I just screen copied things, but I had to publish the video in Toonly but in 1080p and then capture the images from that. So then now they're all nice and crisp and clean. So I reloaded them all. So that was good. I had 2 calls last night. I had a call at 7 with a lady that used to work for me as a co-op. She was actually, she won co-op student of the year at DeGroote for the semester she worked for me. Like I had nominated her. Her name was Michelle. I don't know if you remember Michelle Sun. Anyway, she had reached out to me, or I'd reach out to her, I guess, about trying to recruit people for my leadership for new managers course.
Yep.
So she just wanted to talk, but she gave me she was like a ton of ideas. She was like, your interview simulator, I think it would be really good for international students to practice their interview skills and stuff. You should tap into that market. I'm like, genius idea. Anyway, we had a cool discussion. I ended up with about, again, last night when I went to bed, I think 5 or 6 voice memos to myself of ideas I was having while I was trying to fall asleep. And then I had the call with Kevin on the beta testing, which was really helpful. So we'll go over those details.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
But yeah, it was a good day. I think I don't know. I was still kind of absorbing Amy's feedback and stuff. But today is my brother's twins' birthday, so they're 4 years old today. Like your son, they both got bikes, so they've been riding these bikes for the last year with no pedals. Like you just move with your feet.
Yep.
And they fly around on these things. Like they have great balance and stuff. So I texted my brother when he sent me the picture of the new bikes. I said, "Oh, you're never going to keep up with these kids now. They're like, they're gone."
Yeah, that's true. Misha got his bike now. Now you can't take the bike with him because he's just way too fast.
Yeah. Well, they had one incident because they're twins, right? So if you're one parent with 2 kids and one goes that way and one goes that way,
you're screwed.
What do you do? So they had one incident where Cole took off and they were at a school near their house and he took off. Anyway, he went all the way home and then he came all the way back. And my brother was like freaking out because like between there was like 2 stop signs and all this stuff, but he navigated it fine. They're in Waterdown, so it's not like crazy busy, but still. So that's fun.
Hey, did you I'm just noticing that it seems like Windows has updated. I now have weather in the bottom right next to, where the clock is.
Yeah.
I have weather there.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I have a notice that says your device needs to restart to install updates.
Well, that's probably what it is. Interesting when this
is weird because I restarted this morning, but yeah. And what else? Oh, I also had a lady that used to work with me at Loblaws years ago, like in 2005 and 6. She was posting yesterday that she's open to work, like she's looking for a new job. So this morning I sent her my interview simulator information. And I'm trying to, we had our coaching call yesterday as well, our final call.
Okay. How did that go?
It was good. I mean, everyone was like, it was a little bit emotional because, I mean, when you go through a course like that, like you form relationships and bonds with people. You're talking about very personal stuff a lot of the time. So, I mean, we're continuing the Facebook group on beyond the course. But it was good. I mean, it was remarkable to see how far some people have come. So like one guy was on medication for depression for the last year and a half. He's off his medication now and he's doing great. Another lady's been like miserable in her marriage. She's leaving her husband. Like there's some major life altering moments going on.
No kidding.
Yeah. But it's pretty cool. But I had one more person on the group sign up for the beta testing for the app.
Okay. And was there any feedback on that, or
No,
that
no.
wasn't the place to discuss it?
Yeah, it wasn't really the place. Nobody brought it up. So, but I mean, it looks like people are still continuing to be active on it. So that's a good sign. But yeah, I mean, there was one notion on there that's come up in the group about, because I mean, this is Thriving Coaches Blueprint, so it's about getting clients and building your business.
Yep.
But the idea is that we spend so much time like protecting ourselves or guarding ourselves or something. Like basically the premise is, if you're open to it, the universe is throwing clients at you constantly, or opportunities at you. Most of the time we're oblivious to it because we've got like limiting beliefs, or we think we're looking for the opportunities, but really we're not. We're very like, well, like we talk ourselves out of why this isn't an opportunity.
That we do, that I do. Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's like yesterday I saw on my LinkedIn that lady was open to work, and I was thinking about it yesterday. Oh, I should send her my thing. And then I'm like, well, she's in HR. Like, I'm sure she's got all the interview. Like, I was talking myself out of why it was an opportunity to send her this information. Anyway, this morning I woke up and said, like, that's so stupid. I'm just sending it to her. If it's of no use to her, then she can just delete the message. It may be of no use to her, but she may go, oh my God, this would be great for all my HR friends. Who knows? Like, it could be something, it could be nothing, but
I do that all the time to myself, all the time.
Put it out there. So I'm trying to kind of remind myself, like this one lady on the course said, it's, you need to kind of like flip the switch in your head to be open to receive clients. Like, you don't need to be open to finding them. You need to be open to receiving them. Or to be receiving business. So like when opportunities come along, jump on it. So that's kind of like, I was thinking about that yesterday when I was on the call, both with Kevin and this other lady, because they had all kinds of ideas. So I've come up with a new concept for Leadership for Teens course. So I realized, and I don't know why I didn't realize this before, but because I actually say it in some of my marketing, no, your team doesn't want this course. They're not going to ask for this course.
Yep.
So I came to the conclusion, why am I trying to sell this course? What I need to do, what they want is the resume part. Like, I buried the resume part as part of the leadership thing. I need to break the resume thing out of it and sell it as a resume course, or actually I'm going to give it away. So it's going to be a free resume building course. Upsell to the leadership part.
That's an interesting idea.
So that's like, it's the proverbial, what's the cheese? What's the conversation people are having in their heads? So,
Yep.
I need to find a job and I need to get my resume ready. Okay, well, here you go, free, do this. And I was like, oh, if you want your resume to be even better, buy this course. And now you have something on your resume to talk about. And then, oh, here's a, and I don't know if it'll be included or another bonus, but here's another module on acing your interview. So how do you talk about what you learned in the course, or how do you talk about your skills? And here's things you should know about the food service business. Here's things you should know about the retail business, like all the businesses that teenagers would be applying for. So they can go in with some kind of pre-existing knowledge of what they're getting into.
You know what? It's funny how things that, like, I heard you talk about leadership routines for God knows how long, since November, essentially, since December. And only now it will trigger. Like, for example, your resume part, does it have a component that describes how to build your proper LinkedIn profile and how LinkedIn profiles are used by employers?
Yes. Well, not so much how they're used, but it walks them through building their profile.
Yeah, but I mean, you essentially, it's on. They all have set up profiles on social media.
Yeah.
I mean, they're aces in that. But what they don't realize is how people scan and what they read the LinkedIn profile for. Like, for example, a company. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm here, camera, right here. Talk to the hand. Talk to the hand. There you go. Logitech, good for you. Anyway, but it's kind of like they scan the titles, they scan their accomplishments, and accomplishments have to be measurable, either numbers or achievements, like
Yeah.
growth.
Yeah.
But they like nobody knows that. I didn't know that when I was writing my LinkedIn profile. It was just a resume, and my resume was dense.
Yeah.
It's like a massive number of bullet points about things that people don't really give a shit about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I think it'll do really well.
I got ideas about that. And then she had ideas about like, for international students, other things that they need to know, like what is corporate etiquette like in North America? What are the corporate politics like? Like, how can you do like an introduction to working in business in North America for international students? So anyway, there's all kinds of ideas running around my head now in that context.
Sounds like a very interesting plan.
And then also like the co-op, like the lady I used to deal with at Pressima from DeGroote School of Business.
Yep.
I mean, like I went through, I don't know how many, 3 or 4 years, 3 co-op students per year.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had a pretty good relationship with her because we were supporting her program. But like I haven't reached out to her, but like, there's stuff like the leadership courses and the interview simulator, like there's stuff that it is of value to those people. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna game plan around that next week, reach out and pursue that with them too. So and then the other thing, I was talking to her about the Filling the Experience Gap series that we did, where I interviewed you and my wife and so on. Because I was telling her, I said, like, if you'd be interested in being interviewed, I wouldn't mind interviewing her. And then I was talking about like the resume building and whatever, and just coming up with things. And I thought, you know what, I had this thing of I was thinking of it as the experience makers, something like that, where like we have a program where whether it's university or high school students want to get experience in a particular area, they volunteer and they come work for us on a project. So you would group people together, and maybe it's a new app. Like, okay, you guys, we have an idea, or they come up with an idea, and we walk them through. Here's how you take an idea from conception to launch. Yeah, and people could take turns in different roles within the group, a project leader and whatever, managing other people. So, you go from having the notion was like, if there's certain experiences you need to have to get to where you want to go, don't just wait for people to give them to you. Go and invent them, go and create them. Like, how could we create experiences for people so they can say, yeah, I have no management experience. Well, come do some work for us, and we'll put you in those roles and guide you through it. And then you can say, yeah, I managed a project for 3 months or 6 months, or whatever the term is. Anyway, that's obviously a very new idea that needs to be thought out. But
sorry, who is this for?
It would be for anybody that, like, people that are new in their career or going to be
but who will be selling it?
We would be selling it.
Oh, if we had a business.
We have a business.
Sure.
The business is creating experiences for people. So that they pay to take a course, or they volunteer their time to basically move forward. So we have ideas for things. Well, you come work for us. The exchange is you get experience and guidance and something that you can put on your resume. Mm-hmm. It is not just putting it on your resume. Like, you're legitimately having the experience. So you're growing as an individual.
What I'm saying is they would have to be doing something meaningful, right?
Yeah. Well, look, think of what we just did in the last 4 weeks. Like, that's as meaningful as anything I ever did that I was getting paid for. That's
true. I'm thinking is we would have to have a stream of those. We would have to have a stream of those.
Yeah. Well, like I said, this idea is literally like 10 hours old.
but this idea, because it's funny how this works. Because I thought to myself, I thought you were talking about us, but then I thought, well, if people want to come to work for us, they would want to check us out. So what do we do? And it's not just creating projects, but then I thought to myself, well, what if you were creating projects? You know, one of the biggest challenges that people have with co-op students is giving them meaningful stuff to do.
Yeah.
What if you had programs that companies could adopt, that people could do, that would be meaningful for both the business and the student?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you know what, a manager bringing on a co-op student doesn't have to invent the project that they want to give to a student. No, there's a certain pattern of stuff that's being done. And you start with an industry that you know well, like, oh, I don't know, maybe retail,
Yeah.
CPG. And then you go and so it's like, if your sales team or Catman team or marketing team is hiring a student, this is what they need to do.
Yeah.
Marketing, here's the type of research they want to do. Here's a project that's A to Z, fill in the blank with a brand name, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's all kinds of angles that you can take on it.
Yeah, and yeah, and of course, and it would be great if we could find people who would be willing and interested to trade experiences, because like your nephew, the app genius. Sorry, you mentioned the nephew. Somebody in your family who knows how to actually build apps in React.
Oh, that's Jason Go's brother.
Okay, not in your family, but
My family.
But thing is, like, people going through a school for that.
Yeah.
Give them a project.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like it's like the way I was thinking about it was, we have no shortage of ideas, but there's only two of us.
Yes.
But could you get people, and I mean, maybe it's tailored to what they're good at or their background is, or their experience, obviously, or what they're interested in. But like, they don't really know where to start. Like, let's use Jason's brother for an example. Like, he's got all these programming skills, but he doesn't know what to program until somebody tells him.
Yeah.
So it's like, here's a project, here's an idea. Let's build this. And then, okay, now it's built. How do you do user testing? How do you manage a project in Trello? How do you hit a targeted deadline for launching release? How do you make product management decisions on what to include and what to exclude?
Yeah. So you mean like marrying the soft and the hard skills?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be excellent. That would be excellent.
And then when he's on the market, he goes to find a job. It's not just like, I'm a guy who just graduated and I've never worked before. It's like, no, I actually launched a product.
Yeah.
And maybe it's set up so that there's like a revenue share, a profit sharing kind of scheme where we, if the product goes to market and sells, and whoever worked on it, they get a share of whatever it makes, and we get even more of a share. But
no doubt, you're the
it's,
person who created the opportunity.
It's a way to, and let's face it, most of the stuff's going to fail probably, but you may end up having a couple huge successes out of it.
It's like a new grad incubator.
Yeah, it's like
that's a pretty badass idea.
Yeah.
And if it's time bound, then people don't have to stop looking for work, but they can have meaningful experiences in the process.
Yeah.
And I know how difficult it is to find work right now for new graduates.
Yeah.
Like, it's terrible.
So anyway, that was just I don't know when that's down the road at some point.
Do you have it written down?
I have some notes.
You use a Trello board of ideas.
Yeah. Well, I've been putting stuff into slides, but I should be using Trello.
Well, anything that can easily be accessible.
Yeah. So once we start being able to pay bills, then we can start playing with some of this fun stuff.
Yeah, that's fact. That's a fact. That is a fact.
But I like this whole international student angle too, like, because like Michelle was saying, like there's very specific things that they need help with, and they have money, so it's kind of a good combination.
Yeah, the only thing is to find out if that market is not being served.
Yeah.
But even if it is,
Well, even if it is, I mean, I don't know. This is what I keep going back to is like the,
talking yourself out of it.
well, yeah, but it's this whole notion, and this is everyone's starting point is like, oh, somebody's already doing that. Yeah, well, fuck, how many people are selling groceries, or how
Hold
many
on,
people?
hold on. I had a whole lesson in my course about the fact that if somebody's doing it, you want to be in.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's just validation that it's a legitimate idea. It's not a reason to not do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think of Pressima quite frequently how like, their business model. Well, they had two business models. One was just follow Mackenzie around and pick up their trash,
Yes.
and two was follow John Letter around, and whoever he's working with, he'll hire Pressima to help them do the data analytics part. So anyway, because if you think about everything except CVS, I would say, like Loblaws, US Foods, Staples, all those businesses came basically some way, shape, or form through John Letter or former Loblaw people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is kind of a weird way to run your business or
Yeah.
be dependent on.
What's interesting, amazing, and it actually is a case study, is the fact that Pressman has been acquired by Nielsen and it's been part of Nielsen for quite a while.
Yeah, a couple of years.
Yeah.
Close to it.
Nielsen is a global company with like catering to every single one in the world of retail.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they're loathed or loved, that's a different thing. But from what I understand, they haven't signed a single client yet.
Yeah. Well, it's also been a year and a half of COVID,
so retail was fucking booming. What are you talking about?
Well, I know, but so
everyone's saying like, oh, I'm booming, I don't need this stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're awash in cash.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but it's just interesting how the product's good. Yeah. There's like no doubt about it. Execution, interface, that doesn't matter. But the product is like the core is good, and yet this is the funny thing about human nature and decision making. That you can't convince people that something that will incrementally be good for you in bad times or good times.
Yeah. People
are not willing to invest, and then the model that was built, I mean, it pays for itself.
Yeah. No, I'd say that like the biggest challenge those businesses have is that the gap between, I don't know, delivering the insight or the recommendation and the implementation or execution of it.
Yep.
It's like a 2 out of 10 at best. Like companies haven't figured out how to just leverage what they've got.
Yeah.
There's so much that goes it's because, I mean, I think you watched my presentation yesterday. It's 10 liters of water being poured into a 5-liter jug every day.
Mm-hmm.
So all the good stuff, like the recommendations and insights and stuff, that's part of the 5 liters that spills over and doesn't get captured because people are busy putting out their ads or doing their pricing or fixing issues with the stores or chasing inventory. I don't know, scrambling. They're focused on the wrong stuff, basically.
I concur.
Anyway, good thing that doesn't happen here. It's solo business and team UIP.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good episode. We picked it up finally this week. It's been a light week.
Yeah, it's been mostly. Yeah.
Yeah. Next.
Next.
All right.
Okay.